Have you ever held a roll of vinyl and thought, wait, is this for shirts, mugs, or something else? It's confusing, right? You're not alone. Beginners often mix up iron-on and adhesive vinyl. That can lead to vinyl that's hard to weed, decals that peel off, or even ruined projects. But not today. We're going to walk through exactly how to tell them apart and use them the right way, even if you've never tried them before. We'll make 2 beginner-friendly projects using these free vinyl designs, one on a t-shirt and one on a mug. We'll go over the questions you probably have, like how to tell a heat transfer vinyl from adhesive vinyl, when to use each one, what mistakes to avoid, and how to get great results from the start. Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer Maker, and it's a beautiful day to explore the world of vinyl crafting. Cricut makes all kinds of vinyl, and they can look very similar. HTV or iron-on vinyl can be applied to all kinds of fabric items like shirts, hoodies, and towels. Look for the words iron-on, HTV, or heat transfer to make sure you've got the right kind for a t-shirt. Adhesive vinyl won't stick to fabric, but it will stick to signs, mugs, and other hard surfaces. Look for the words permanent or adhesive to know if you've got the right stuff for a project like a mug. Now, what do you need to make a t-shirt with iron-on vinyl? I'm using plain colored Cricut iron-on vinyl, which comes in lots of colors and 2 main types, everyday and value. They look similar, but they're a little different. Value costs less and can be a bit trickier to weed, but I like the results just as much. You can use either one in any color you like. To cut the design, I'm using my Cricut Maker 4, but you can use any Maker or Explore series machine or even the Cricut Venture. If your design is small enough, it can be cut on a Cricut Joy Extra. Even a Cricut Joy can cut small HTV designs. I'll also use a green standard grip mat, a brayer to press the vinyl down smoothly, and a weeding tool to help remove the bits we don't want. Scissors come in handy too. For pressing, you can use a household iron or a heat press. I'll be using my Cricut Easy Press 2 on a pressing pad. And don't forget parchment paper and a lint roller. You'll also need a shirt. Cricut iron-on vinyl can be applied to most fabrics, but I love a cotton poly blend because they're so soft. If you want a tool to make things easier, use your Cricut to make one of my t-shirt ruler guides before you get started. For the mug, I'm using Cricut's Premium Permanent Adhesive Vinyl, but you can follow the same steps with Cricut's Value Vinyl. And I'll apply the decal to a 15-ounce Cricut mug, but you can use any smooth ceramic mug you like. I'll use the same cutting machine, standard grip mat, brayer, and weeding tool here, plus a few extras. You'll need standard grip transfer tape, a scraper tool, and some isopropyl alcohol with a lint-free cloth to prep the mug surface, plus a towel to keep the mug steady when applying the decal. Everything I used is in my blog post at jennifermaker.com/753. You'll also go there to access my free library and download my free designs. Click Get a Password if you need one or enter the library. Then search for design number 753 and click the download link. Inside, you'll find an SVG folder with files for each of my floral wildlife designs, perfect for cutting from adhesive or iron-on vinyl. There's a butterfly, a cardinal, and a mushroom, each with decorative cutouts. And in the PDF folder, you'll find versions you can print and cut by hand if you don't have a cutting machine. If you're unsure how to upload these, visit jennifermaker.com/svgs. Upload a design to a blank canvas in Cricut Design Space. I'll demonstrate with the butterfly design, but you can use the same steps to prepare, cut, and apply the other 2 designs. Let's start by making a shirt with iron-on vinyl. To make sure we size the design correctly, click the Templates icon and pick T-shirt. Select the shirt type and size to match yours. Then click the little arrow on the right of the Templates panel to close it. Here's how the template looks on my canvas. The t-shirt shape on the left is for the front of a shirt, and the one on the right is for the back. Resize the design using the corner handles. Make sure the lock icon is closed to keep the proportions right. You can zoom into the dash-lined areas to see the maximum size you should use for designs in those spots. If you'd like to change the color of the design, use the color box at the top. Want to be really sure your heat settings are good? Add a tiny test shape like a heart using the Shapes icon. Make it the same color as your design so it cuts on the same mat. Cricut Design Space groups things by color, and matching colors will cut together on the same mat. Your design is ready to cut. You don't need to delete the t-shirt template. The software knows it's not part of the design. Name your project to save your work, though. Select your machine at the top right, then click Make. On the Prepare screen, choose the correct material size and toggle Mirror. Since you're cutting from the back of the vinyl, mirroring keeps your design from pressing backwards. Click Continue. On the Make screen, make sure your settings match your vinyl type. If you're using Cricut Everyday Iron-On Vinyl, click Browse All Materials and use the Everyday Iron-On setting with more pressure. If you have Cricut Value Iron-On Vinyl, use the Value Iron-On setting. Don't accidentally select the Value Vinyl setting because that's for adhesive vinyl. Then, under pressure, select More for a cleaner cut. Remember, iron-on vinyl must be cut with the carrier sheet, usually the shinier side face down on the mat. If you're not sure which side is which, use a weeding tool to scratch a corner on each side. The one you can lift is the vinyl, which goes face up. Use a brayer to adhere it well. Check that your fine point blade is clean and in the clamp, then load your mat into your Cricut and press the flashing middle button to cut your vinyl. Before unloading the mat, use your weeding tool to gently lift one of the small cutout shapes inside the design to see if the cut went through the vinyl, but not the carrier sheet. If the cuts don't go all the way through, weeding gets tricky. Press the middle button to repeat the cut in the same spot if needed. Once the vinyl is cut but not the carrier sheet, unload the mat. Flip it over onto your work surface and roll it back to release the vinyl without curling the material. If you have any issues with your cuts, check out my Intricate Cuts tutorial at jennifermaker.com/intricatecuts on Cricut. Use scissors to loosely trim around your design on the carrier sheet. Use a weeding tool to remove the excess vinyl around the main shape. If the design shifts, place it carrier sheet side down on the machine mat to keep it steady. Next, weed the smaller inner shapes. Gently poke the tool into the vinyl you want to remove and pull it away. If any design details lift, gently pat them back down. Cricut Value Iron-On Vinyl can tear easily, so be careful. Our design is ready, now for the shirt. If this is a gift or item to sell, don't pre-wash your shirt. If it's for you, you can wash it first. Just skip fabric softener as it can interfere with the adhesive. Whether you're using Cricut Everyday or Value Iron-On Vinyl, preheat your heat press to 315 degrees Fahrenheit or 157 degrees Celsius. If you are using a household iron, choose the setting that matches your t-shirt material. Just be sure to turn off the steam, since moisture can interfere with the adhesive. If your iron has high, medium, and low settings, follow my next steps to do a test with the heart shape on the high setting to make sure it's right for your material. You'll find more helpful tips like this in my HTV cookbook with advice for shirts and other iron-on vinyl projects. Use a lint roller to remove lint or fuzz from the front of the shirt. They'll keep the HTV from bonding to the fabric. Fold the shirt in half by matching up the sleeves to make a line down the middle. Place it on a pressing mat or folded towel to protect your work surface. Then press the folded shirt for 5 seconds to create a center crease, smooth wrinkles, and remove excess moisture. If you made or have a t-shirt ruler, use that line to place it in the center, just below the neckline. Want to make your own guide to help with placement of your design? Go to jennifermaker.com/t-shirt ruler guide. Fold the non-sticky sides of your vinyl design together to find the vertical center and lightly crease the carrier sheet at the top and bottom, but not the vinyl. Holding it vinyl side down, align the creases in the carrier sheet with the crease on the t-shirt and the ruler center. Pat it in place and the slight sticky carrier sheet will keep it there. Remove the ruler and place a piece of parchment paper over the design to protect everything from direct heat. Press the entire design at 315 degrees Fahrenheit or 157 degrees Celsius for 30 seconds with firm pressure. That means keeping both hands on the press and leaning on it with some of your body weight. If your press or iron is smaller than the design, press in overlapping sections so they're evenly heated for the entire 30 seconds. Remove the parchment paper. Different types of iron-on vinyl peel best at different temperatures. Cricut Value iron-on vinyl is a cold peel, so let it cool completely before carefully removing the carrier sheet while holding the fabric in place. Remember, Cricut Value iron-on vinyl tears easily, so be careful. If the carrier sheet doesn't peel off easily, let it cool a little longer and try again. If it still won't peel easily, lay the carrier sheet back down, cover it with parchment, and press for a few more seconds. Sometimes it can be stubborn, so remain patient and try again. Once it does, how cute is that? That was so worth getting it right. Now let's take the same butterfly design and put it on a mug with permanent adhesive vinyl. These designs upload pre-sized to fit the Cricut mugs in my materials list. If you're using a different mug, measure it and resize the design to fit. I'm going with a blue butterfly this time. Just a quick color change and it's ready to cut. Save your project and select your machine, then click Make. On the Prepare screen, make sure the correct material size is selected and Mirror is toggled off since we are using adhesive vinyl this time. Click Continue, and on the Make screen, make sure your settings match your vinyl. Depending on your material, pick the Premium Vinyl Permanent Glossy setting or the Value Vinyl setting, which I'm using. Choose More Pressure for a cleaner cut. To tell the front from the back of Cricut adhesive vinyl, look for the shiny, colorful side. That's the front and the part you'll cut through. Grab your green standard grip machine mat and put the vinyl colored side up. Then use a brayer to adhere it and cut your adhesive decal just like we did the HTV. Before unloading the mat, check to see if the cut went through the vinyl, but not the carrier sheet. Unload the mat, flip it over, and roll it back to release the vinyl. Trim around your design and remove the excess vinyl around the main shape with your weeding tool. Then remove the cutout shapes within the design. You'll find that adhesive vinyl doesn't really stretch like HTV does, so weeding feels a little different. If any details lift up, gently pat them back down. Cut a piece of standard grip transfer tape a little larger than the design. Remove its backing, but set it aside since you can reuse the tape. Curve the transfer tape into a U or taco shape, then putting the bottom of your taco onto the middle of your design. Smooth the tape over the decal from the center outward, making sure to press out and remove any bubbles. When the transfer tape is in place, use a scraper tool or other hard and flat-edged item, like a store loyalty card to transfer the vinyl decal design to the transfer tape. This is called burnishing, and I like to do it on both sides to really adhere the tape well to the vinyl. Once your design is ready, clean the outside of the mug with isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free cloth to remove oil and dust that could affect the vinyl's adhesive. Decide which side you want your decal on and position your mug. I'll use a folded towel to stabilize it on my craft table. Plan to place the decal on the side that won't touch your mouth when drinking. For most people, that's opposite the handle when it points left, unless they're a lefty. Place the mug on its side with the handle turned down, touching the towel with your design area face up. Carefully remove the vinyl backing from the design, leaving the design on the transfer tape. Now let's put it on the mug. Position the decal in the very center of the open area, about an inch down from the rim. Again, use the taco method to curve the decal's sides up into the shape of a taco, so you're only getting a little sticky area near the mug to start. Gently lower the bottom curve to touch the mug in the correct position. If you're happy with the position, carefully let each of the taco's sides lower into place on the mug's curve. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It's handmade. Use your fingers to smooth the sticky, exposed part of the transfer tape onto the mug. Then, use a small scraper to burnish over the whole design to help maximize the vinyl's adhesion to the mug. Slowly peel off the transfer tape. If anything lifts, press it back down with your scraper. The butterflies landed and it looks adorable in adhesive vinyl. And remember, little quirks make it special. It's handmade with heart, not a factory robot. Feeling ready to make custom vinyl projects with multiple layers? Join my Advance with Jennifer Maker member program at jennifermaker.com/advance to learn how with my exclusive workshop. And if you want tons more tips, tricks, and settings for successful iron-on vinyl projects, check out my HTV cookbook. It's a great resource for all kinds of heat transfer vinyl crafts. You can learn more at jennifermaker.com/HTV-cookbook. And there you have it. 2 beginner-friendly vinyl projects, a whole bunch of tips, and most importantly, the confidence to craft with vinyl the right way. On the t-shirt, be sure to let the vinyl sit for at least 24 hours before washing. Then wash your shirt inside out in cold water and don't use any bleach. Tumble on low or hang to dry. For your mug, I recommend hand washing to give it the longest life for your vinyl decal. And don't ever microwave vinyl decorated cups or mugs. With proper care, your vinyl projects will live their longest, happiest life. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.